it going, Meriden? I'm just getting my computer set up here and everything else going, so give me just a minute here. Trying to set up my other multi-stream too. I've now got it linked where it does multiple platforms. Stream info. This app's about ready to be the death of me though. Freaking kick drives me up the wall. There we go.
My hair in your face. Sorry. Hi. Hi. Oh.
So right now, I'm still using Streamlabs console. So it has the ability to stream to Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. So I just figured I'd start streaming it to other places too. I got one buddy that he was banned off of Twitch, so he's Kick only now. So him and I kind of tag each other's stuff over there. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's a totally different system than Twitch. But yeah, no, I'm just messing around with it at this point. I mean, I'm trying to, like I said, I'm 0.01 away from affiliate on Twitch, which I find freaking asinine that they went to a 100th of a decimal point. And so, yeah, just dinking around with it, trying it out, you know. Yeah, I do know I've seen a lot of bots on Kick. Oh, where was I at on this map? I cannot remember where I left off. Yeah, I figure if I can at least maintain a 3+ average for the next, hour, 2 hours, I should hopefully cross off the damn affiliate on this. I have a hate-hate relationship with Streamlabs when it comes to OBS. The alert stuff isn't too bad, but Slobs is terrible. Yeah, I basically, the reason why I started out with Streamlabs is they're one of the two. There's another one. It's, Streamlabs, I'm active, but there's Streamlabs and one other that I can stream to from the Xbox, and it takes it to other streaming sites. So with my Streamlabs console, I don't have to be connected to my PC. I do plan on getting a capture card here in the next probably month or two. My biggest thing on buying the capture card was I wanted to make sure that affiliate wasn't just going to be a pipe dream for me. So now that it's kind of blossoming and growing, I am re-looking into getting a capture card to where I can actually link my system through into my computer through a capture card and start streaming that way. So, like I said, just kind of working on it, and yeah, they do have a console version of the software, and they also have a dashboard version where you have to do it through a capture card. But like I said, I have yet to buy a capture card. I've looked at cheap ones. I got a buddy that streams and uses Elgato capture card. Hey, Ezio. And that's actually the one I'm kind of looking at, is the Elgato capture card. And so, just like I said, just trying to put it all together. wanted to make sure that, you know, the affiliate wasn't just a pipe dream, because I wasn't gonna try and buy all this stuff if I wasn't ever gonna make affiliate to where I'm just baseline channel. Hey, Speedy Bell, what's up? Yeah, I've heard really good things, read really good things about Elgato. So, and they're not too horribly priced. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet, because you know, my biggest thing, I mainly just started getting into streaming for not. I don't plan on making a living off of it, nothing like that. The way I figured it, what got me into streaming was I play video games a lot. I got a couple siblings that enjoy watching me play video games that, you know, don't live close to me. So I did quite a bit when I was in the military, never made big of it. So once I get the affiliate status, you know, and I can start doing the fun shit, you know, the channel points, you know, I'll do the Elgato capture card for being able to tie camera into it and everything like that, and basically just make it a hangout bullshit session, kind of like what French does, you know, do channel points to make shit fun, exciting, you know. I'm not in it to make bank. I'm not in it to live off it full time. You know, I'm way too late in life, having a wife and 3 kids, to just completely uproot my good paying job and just go out on a whim and try and do this full time. So yeah, like my wife just said, unless I can make $4,000 a month right off the get go, which I ain't worried about. I actually do have a job that I thoroughly enjoy. It, you know, 410s, any time off I want with my family. Like if I need the day off, I just text my boss and said, hey, I need the day off. You know, I can literally take time off whenever I want. So I am not too worried about doing this full time. This is just more for fun and talking to people and enjoying the gaming community. So yeah, I'll get there eventually. Like I said, I just wanted to confirm that, yeah, it's a social life, like my wife just said. She's sitting right next to me. But you know, I just wanted to confirm that I was going to be able to at least make affiliate to where getting the capture card, and you know, I've got a Switch. I would enjoy. I don't know what everybody feels about Mario, but I play the hell out of Mario on my Switch, you know, and I think it'd be fun to be able to pull that up. And if anybody else has Mario on the Switch, you know, do a stream night where everybody's in there, and you know, just have fun with it. It's what I enjoy in my off time. It's what my family enjoys. My wife, she was never a big gamer until she met me, and now she's into gaming pretty good. She enjoys it, and yeah, so she enjoys watching more than trying to show off. So we'll get her there. I keep trying to tell her she needs to just randomly fire up her streams just for the hell of it. So I wasn't talking about when you play Warzone with 10-year-olds. I was talking about when you do your Sims just for the hell of it. Hell, that's how I started, just putting a stream out there and talking to people. She's also not a very people person. I'm the people person of the household. So we'll get her there. We'll get her there. She's coming out of her shell more and more every year, so we'll get her there. But again, same thing with her, you know, it's nothing that we ever plan on getting to where we're doing it full time. There's many other great streamers out there, and talking to them, you know, the guys that do it full time, they've been streaming for 10 plus years and doing the grind. And who knows, maybe 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, about the time I retire, I'll just be able to stream and enjoy retirement. But like I said, it's just a goal to reach affiliate, just so that way I can have more viewer involvement and have fun with it. So Ezio, the Marios, I have both Super Mario World and Super Mario Wonder. Those are 2 of my favorite Mario games on the Switch, just because it's the updated version of the old NES system. I hate the open world run around third person view of Mario. I've tried them. I've tried Mario Party. I've tried stuff like that. Mario Kart, I've still got Mario Kart, love the hell out of it. So I think I'm on my 3rd or 4th playthrough of Wonder. Haven't touched it in a while, but I've done Wonder a few times. I got one game save where I'm grinding out the extreme, the cloud levels. So yeah, I've got multiple Marios. So that's the whole reason why I bought the Switch. Mainly was back when I was traveling, and just so I could get Mario back in the house, because we had a Wii with the old Super Mario Brothers, and well, when I was traveling, I couldn't. It was a pain in the ass to pack up and take the Wii with me for, 3 nights out of town when I was traveling for work. So dropped the money, bought a Switch, used it on night shift a few times when it was kind of slow nights and it was too cold for us to go out and do anything maintenance wise. So, and I would enjoy, if we have people with Mario and Switches, and just like I said, just fire up a Mario stream and get multiple people in there. And I've done it with a buddy of mine over in New York, and done it with him and his brother, and it was a freaking blast. We had one more person in there, so there's 4 of us rocking out Mario multiplayer online on Switch, and it was fun as hell. So yeah, it'll be good. Did more or less just to get more involved and have fun with it. And playing games is one thing, but I enjoy, you can even ask my wife, I enjoy talking to people, I enjoy meeting new people, I enjoy chatting. I can talk people's heads off about video games, about movies, about cars, trucks, guns, and it just gives more to do, Granted, there are some nights where I don't stream playing video games, and usually my daughter's bouncing around between the bedroom and here, and some games she gets really interested in and just loves watching me. So had affiliate for 4 years, but haven't been grinding it. Yeah, like I said, and that's the thing, I reach affiliate, I'll just fire up streams and chat and have fun. And yeah, said I got into streaming just more to meet new people. And I constantly at work on my slow days when I'm sitting at my desk, I'll fire up people's streams and just sit there and bullshit with them while I'm doing computer work at work. It's a good avenue. It gives good break, good communication. What's that? Yeah, and my wife has a strict desk job, so she says she'll fire them up sometimes, and yeah, so. And I got a buddy, he's wants to get into video games, but at the same time, video games, he's one of them, I'm too old school for video games kind of thing. But he wants to get into, Snow Runner and stuff like that, the more off-roading games. And he's got a Twitch finally. After I started talking to him more, I got him on. He got watching a couple streamers on TikTok and whatnot, and he's like, well, I finally did it. And I'm like, what's that? He goes, I downloaded Twitch. I'm like, oh yeah, who do you follow? He goes, DB Veteran. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, so you like DB Veteran stuff? I was like, I follow him as well. And I was like, well, here's a couple other streamers, for when DB's not on that might be on. So, and he'll literally just pull up the streams and lurk and enjoy the freaking shenanigans that goes on with video games and watch the chats. And he's just more of the silent lurker, but he's like my wife, she says, but and that's the thing with Twitch. It's not always, gamers that are in here watching, it's just people wanting to talk and bullshit and enjoy the shenanigans. And yeah, it can be quite entertaining sometimes. I pop into my one buddy's stream just to mess with him. I got a few clips of him damn near falling out of his chair with his jump scare redeemed. There for the longest time, I was about the only one doing it, so every time I'd do it, God damn it, bombtech, knock that shit off. Yeah, it's a good time. So yeah, we're doing Mario nights. I'd have to for sure. I'd have to make sure my Twitch is charged. Yeah, that's part of the problem with mine. My battery's taking a crap, so some days it charges and holds charge, and other days it actually on screen, so all right, Speedy. Yeah, no, my Switch battery, it's kind of in the process of taking a shit. Some days it'll hold a charge and work fine, and other days it has to live on the dock and I have to put it on the big screen, and so it's getting ornery. Gotta love newborns trying to have bowel movements. Yeah. He don't want to be laid down. He wants to be up. Oh boy, this mission is a freaking nightmare. Cargo from the ship. A good one. That could be why he was pissy. Oh yeah, there's a little bit. Hold on, time out. Oh, you know what? I just realized I have the wrong. Oh, wrong. Time out. I have the wrong scene up. There we go. Okay. Now it's not going to sit there and have be back soon right across the screen. I keep forgetting to switch that over. I'll get it on it and go do something and then totally forget when I get back. I'm on timeout grabbing a wipe for the wife. Got some baby spit up going on. Alrighty then. There we go. And we got a store here. It's batteries, bulbs, and more. And I think it was like, what'd they quote us? Like 80 or 90 bucks to do the battery on the Switch. So about $100 by the time all's said and done to do battery, which isn't too bad. So just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. This mission's a pain in the ass. I hate it. So we'll try and rock it out while on stream, see how badly I can screw this damn thing up. Stay on the trail. Yeah, on the battery. So I was telling him about the replacement. Or did it not update? No, my screen's not updating my chat. Oh wow. That's what Speedy was telling you about. Yeah, it's you can go ahead and add me on Xbox. It's just it's the same as my screen name on Twitch. My tags, I've since converted all my tags over to the bombtech90, so. Yep. Oh. Oh, get out of high range, get out of the mud. Which part, Mirrodin? Let me scroll back up. Tab, here you go. Use computer. Where's my damn scroll bar at? There it is. Hey, that's it. There you go. Add that real quick. There you go. Yeah. There you go. We should be friends now, Ezio. There you are. Play Battlefield today, huh? Hell yeah. Gotta go get dinner. Going for the kids. I will leave you up to help with the... Alright, appreciate it, Speedy. I'm rocking some Battlefield right now, yeah. I tried that, the other few streams ago, man, and I found out I am freaking rusty when it comes to Battlefield. Last Battlefield I played religiously was Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline. My buddy that was in the, hey, Screwball, what's up, buddy? My buddy that was in my 7 Days to Die interactive stream, him and I used to, we was back on Battlefield on the 363, 4, and Hardline, and man, looking at the chats nowadays and how there's, it's so easy to get banned for saying the wrong thing in-game chats on games, and usually when I'm playing multiplayer, I don't even have my mic up. I only play multiplayer if I can get in a private party, just because you never know when you say the wrong thing and somebody's going to be like, oh, I'm turning you into Xbox for saying a bad word. And it's like, You should have seen the 360 days when everybody was, oh dude, it was wild. I wish I still had all my old messages in my 360, and I had a lot of hate mail from some of the shenanigans we used to do. We were top-notch snipers. That was our go-to game, was sniping. And then when we would run out of ammo, that's when we would start our ground game with landmines and everything else. And I am swamped, and I don't have any freaking pick points. Are you freaking? That's great. Well, this truck might just be stuck here for a minute. Right. That's, it's, and I get some of the name calling. There is some things that I will not call people. Well, except for my one coworker, just because he eggs it on and he says stuff just as bad as anybody else. He's one of the old school mentalities where, he will crack the more, not so, I'm trying to think of the more correct way to say this without coming out right and saying it. The more, not so very good jokes that people really get offended by, depending on their background, their ethnicity. Yeah, he'll crack them with the best of them, and he's funner than hell to hang out with. But he's one of them, he cracks the jokes just as good as everybody else. He doesn't mean any offense by them, it's just how we are. And, that's about the only person I do that type of joking with, just because he jokes about it just as hard. But, I don't go that far. I never went that far in chats, but calling somebody a stupid SOB for doing something stupid, then they'd get all butt hurt. Now we're gonna go report you. No, okay, do what you got to do, And yeah, people are just. It's a totally different generation now in gaming than it was 10 years ago, even. And it's just, yeah, I tend to stay private in my party, and that's why all my streams are rated 18 and up, just so people have the warning coming in here. There is vulgar language. I let most words slip. There's a few words like the N-word I won't slip on stream. The C word I sure as hell won't slip on stream, because my wife will hang me to the wall. So, right, yeah, if they're a son of a bitch, they're a son of a bitch. But you can't say that to people anymore in the online multiplayer gaming community, because they'll get upset and they'll turn you into the servers. And, yeah. Mirden, I love to see. Well, aren't you from? You're from Europe area, aren't you, Mirden? You're from across the pond, aren't you? UK, yeah. And I don't know exactly where out in the UK you are, but and like I've tried to explain it to my wife, especially with my buddies. there are some countries where that's their way of life. They don't mind that word. Especially Australians. Australians will sling that word left and right if you ever get into some Australian streams, and they're not meaning anything derogatory by it, and it's just the way they speak. If you want to get away with calling people names, play COD. See, and that's the thing anymore. I've got buddies that they play COD religiously, and I think they're on their second or third Activision name, because they used to do public lobbies and public chat, and they pissed somebody off and somebody turned them in, and Rockstar banned them. Hard up banned them for being hate speech and bullying. And it's just, and I get it, you can get away with it, but you're always gonna run the risk of that one person getting so upset because you whipped their ass and you said that they were freaking, you called them a son of a bitch, or you called them this, you called them that, and next thing you know, your account's done and your progress is all lost. Exactly, Scottish descent, so it's used as being a way of being friendly and also being an asshole. Depends on how you say it, yeah. Hard T, you hate a person, yeah. Yeah, the T word too is pretty popular over there in UK. But, like I said, that's twat. No, that's a fact. So again, it, it just depends on the country anymore. But yeah, no, it's of course the T word. You know, my buddies and I, we call each other that all the time, just for nicknames. So, and of course we do have shenanigans at work. That it's one of them. It's we ask ourselves multiple times a day that some of our conversations. It's amazing HR hasn't had to be involved yet. We haven't had to have that one lonely walk down the hallway to go have our hands slapped by HR that you can't say that. So, yeah, it's just a different world, period, not even just in gaming. And that's the thing I like where I'm at. I got a good crew. I can crack jokes. As much as they were glad to get rid of me for 8 weeks on paternity leave, I bet you it's pretty damn boring back there right now without me in the lab, keeping them on their toes. Yeah, waffle's a very good one to put behind the T word. Yeah, and that's the thing between the military and Twitch and everything else. You know, I've got to learn and get to know all walks of life. Like my one buddy that's over on Kick, like I said, he's from Australia, and I wonder if that's actually who's lurking my stream over there on Kick. But he's a good dude, and yeah, you'll hear all sorts of language. And all right, Ezio, have a good one, man. Thanks for swinging in. That's the other part I love about the gaming community. You know, you get people from all over the world coming together for one thing that they enjoy. And, you know, and Frenchman, yeah, I totally figured he was French at first. And he's like, no, that's just a name. I'm like, oh, well, shit, okay. We're going to confuse a lot of freaking people in your stream then. Yep, so. Yeah, it's definitely weird the way the world's changing nowadays. Of course, so our 7-year-old, she's a funny one. Of course, I think I was explaining it in my hunting stream, as some people found out my daughter was watching, and they're like, "Oh, we got to keep it PG in here then." And I'm like, "Well, you know, PG-13 R, you know, don't make it sexual, don't do that, you know." But she can handle cuss words. She lives with me and my wife, and we both got sailor mouths a mile wide. Me worse than my wife, but she knows them. She said them. She's called my wife the hard B word before and ran away laughing about it. And I thought we was going to see the world implode. That was quite entertaining. Wife didn't think it was very funny, but I thought it was kind of funny. I was biting my lip just so I didn't get in trouble for laughing. And of course, you know, I did do the dad thing and went and told my daughter, you know, you don't ever call your mother that. Even though you're mad at her, you don't call her that. Don't call her any other words. Just move on. But of course, she was probably, what, 3, 4 at the time when that slipped. Probably 3. Doing the parrot stage, so. Mirrodin, I can only, like I said, it's and that's the crowd I enjoy, you know. You won't offend me by saying anything. You won't offend me by calling me anything in my stream. I was raised being a mechanic's son, and anybody that's ever been with a full-time, around a full-time mechanic knows that you learn all the colorful words at a young age, and I was the same way. One of my first words was the F word, and it's been in my vocabulary ever since. And I was always one of those kids that as soon as the parents were away and I was out with my buddies, we thought it was cool to say all these awesome adult cuss words, And Dad found out we were doing that one day, and he whipped my ass a little bit, and, didn't slow me down any. I just made sure I was that much more sneaky. It's like the other day, my daughter, I correct her and let her know she's not supposed to be using them at such a young age, but it makes it so hard not to laugh. So whenever we go grocery shopping, you know, I have her help me put groceries away. And this weekend we went and bought some milk, and we bought it from Costco. So it's the 2-pack of milk. And I've tried asking her to grab milk in the past and help me pack it in the kitchen, and it's always, oh, it's too heavy, I can't carry it, Well, I'll be damned if freaking Monday evening we get home and I ask her, hey, can you grab the box of milk? And she goes, okay, Dad. So I'm in the kitchen, and she comes lugging that freaking 2-gallon pack of milk from the living room. No complaining, no boobing, no nothing. Packs it in the kitchen. I look at her and I'm like, what the hell is this bullshit? And she goes, what bullshit, Dad? And I'm like, oh, as soon as she saw my look, she goes, I didn't mean to say that. That slipped. I'm like, I'm sure it did slip. So like I said, she knows them, knows she's not supposed to use them, but at the same time, she's still kind of at that parrot stage where if I say it, asking her a question, she'll sling around and say it. Of course, you know, I don't wash her mouth out with soap. You know, I've threatened it. I did joke around. I was like, so what flavor of soap do you want today? And she goes, no. My friends had soap and I don't enjoy it. I don't think I'd enjoy it. And I'm like, I'm not going to give you soap, but just try not to say it no more, you know. You know, because it's one of them things. I use the word a lot. My wife uses the word a lot, you know. I've never felt right, you know, spanking my kid or putting soap in her mouth for stuff like that, you know. Something that I know she's learned from me. It's more of just, hey, you know, don't say it anymore. When she was little, though, that was really hard to do. S. My one mod, and all she puts in the chat is S. I need to put you in another timeout. Unmod you. Oh, she was pissed. I added her as a mod, and I'm like, oh, what's this timeout function do? I'm curious. Wiped all her chat, so I untimed out her, and then it turned out it unmodded her, and she goes, so you put me in timeout? I'm like, yeah, I gotta put you in timeout from time to time just to keep you in check. Yeah, it's very funny at first, but she's over it now. She'll give me shit about it. She's over it. But yeah. Oh, and we got 2 boys, two and 5 weeks as of Monday. And yeah, that's they're gonna be fun ones. I can't wait till they hit the parrot stage, and yeah, our 2-year-old, he's kind of the feral wild child of the bunch, and yeah. We'll see how well his parrot stage happens with his mix of attitude, because he definitely has a bigger attitude than what his sister did growing up. We're gonna have our hands full. Yeah, my mother don't have a relationship, so you should hear the crap I say. My mom and I have a decent relationship, and we still shit talk each other all the time. My dad, we kind of have an off and on relationship, and we're pretty blunt with each other and call each other all sorts of names and stuff like that. And I've had a lot of people that through the last almost 20 years now, you know, would hear me say something to my dad, you know, like I'd call him a stupid motherfucker, or, well, that dumbass, how'd you manage that, you know? Everybody's like, oh, you need to respect your father more, and I'm like, you don't realize the relationship him and I have. Like, that's him and I. By the time I finally had a part in his life, he pushed us away for a while. So by the time we connected again and come back together, we were more, not necessarily father and son, but more friends. So yeah, we shit talk each other with the best of them. And I've had a few people like said, you know, you need to have more respect for your dad and this and that. Don't get me wrong, you know, I respect my dad some days, depending on where his freaking head's at. So I got respect for him. There's some days I don't have a lot of respect for him with some of his antics and shit, but you know, whenever I do say anything about him to his face, you know, same thing with me, you know, unless we know each other well enough that we know our attitudes and know moods towards each other, and we know when it's joking, and we know when it's pretty fucking serious, and we know that we're pissed at each other, so. Of course, my mom, she's a fun one. She's a born again Mormon some days, so she can't say the F word and she can't cuss, and damn. That hurt. But, she's a fun one, so I always made it a goal whenever she's on her goody two shoes kick that I'll try my damnedest to see if I can get the F word out of her, and then I got to go run over and write it on the calendar because I got mom to say the F word, and then she gets even more pissed. That's like me. People keep telling me that I'll have one mother. I should do more to keep the relationship, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is it my responsibility? It's a two-way street. I've tried having a relationship. It's her that's the issue. Yeah, and that's kind of the, I still talk to my dad off and on, but I've had a realization the last couple of years where, well, we had a big blow-up a long time ago before my daughter was even born, and it put a pretty good strain on our relationship that we used to have, and I tried fighting to rebuild it back to where it was, and I kind of hit the point where, like you said, it's a two-way street, and my wife and I finally, my wife sat down and she finally opened my eyes that our relationship was no longer a two-way street, it was just a one-way street, so I've pulled back quite a bit in the relationship there, and trying to preserve myself and my kids' sake, and look out for my kids and protect my kids at the same time. So, like something will happen and he'll tell me, "Oh, we'll just tell the kids that Grandpa's doing okay," and phone works. Call him, talk to him. I'm not going to force him in your life. I'm not going to force myself in your life. You want to talk to us? You know my phone. You know where I live. Like, I'm not going to be the one constantly trying to make any point in anybody's lives here. I've kind of become a blunt, ornery old fucker with quite a few people that way, so is what it is. They want to be a part of our lives, they'll make a part to be in it. Especially now that I got kids, I gotta look out for them. I gotta protect them. They don't understand why, Grandpa doesn't call them, or my oldest sister, their aunt, doesn't want to come see them, and I don't tell them fully. I don't, when it comes to my kids, I don't shit talk them. I don't shit talk my parents to them. Excuse me. And I just tell them, I don't know. Well, when you do talk to them, you'll have to ask them why they're doing this and why they're being this way and that way, and more leaving the ball in their court to look like an ass instead of me. Because I don't want to have that relationship with my kids when they get older and be like, oh, well, it must have just been you not wanting us to talk to them, They say that I don't want that for my kids. I'm not gonna bash the family members that don't come around to my kids. I want them to be able to see it for themselves, not because I said it was that way. So, oh boy. Right. You know what? I just realized something. For some reason, I thought that I had to pick these two containers up, but I don't. Yeah, I think my dad sends me stuff on Facebook all the time, and I just ignore it. And for the most part, usually it's stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and oh hey, I could see this for Ruby, or I could see this for the kids and that for the kids, and I've told him multiple times, I'm like, well, if that's how you feel about it, buy it for him then, because like it's something that we don't see as feasible for him, And yeah. Well, the funniest part was my older sister. My wife, when we first got together, she, my older sister wanted to be a part of our lives because my wife got pregnant, early into the relationship and whatnot. So we kind of had to do the whole get to know each other while trying to prepare for a kid together, kind of thing. And my sister was all sorts of excited that she finally was going to have a niece and whatnot, and had a big part in our lives. And my sister and I, we were kind of back and forth on the rocks, and we get along for a year or so, and then have a big blow up, and then don't talk to each other for a year or two. And I warned my wife, I was like, hey, it's fine and dandy if my sister wants to be a part of my life, but just I wouldn't get completely open and open yourself out there and get too close. And she goes, well, why is that? I'm like, good things only last so long in my family. And sure enough, I think it was about after our oldest was a year old, something. Don't know. I still haven't been able to talk to her to see exactly where the disconnect was, but shit blew up. She blocked all of us on Facebook, blocked our numbers, just completely shut us out of her life. My wife's like, oh. So, she goes, when you told me early on, don't open yourself up and get too close. She goes, I now see why. I'm like, yeah. It's like, it wasn't me being a dick and shit talking my sister. I was just me warning you, don't get too close. Because I don't want to see you get upset when she gets upset and cuts us out of her life. And, I got 3 kid siblings that they're great. I talk to one consistently. She might actually even be in the chat. I don't know. She sent me a message. So I don't know if she's on here today or not, but yeah. I got 3 younger siblings that one of them I talk to almost daily, and she makes an effort to come visit us as we make an effort to go visit her. And she has a want to be in her niece and nephew's lives. And the other 2 siblings, we talk off and on, but they're kind of figuring out their own way in life and figuring out which way they want to go, and busy doing other things, and young on top of that. There's between me and the oldest of my younger siblings, there's 11 years, and then 13, and then almost 15 in between me and the babies. So there's a big age disconnect there. I've kind of hit the point where I'm just kind of go with the flow and focusing on me and the family more than trying to please everybody else in my life. So if people want to be a part of our lives, they'll feel it. If not, keep doing what I'm doing. He is just freaking bushy-tailed as can be right now. Finally at the stage where he's trying to be more awake than he is asleep. Which ain't too bad, because that'll help our night times. That's kind of the point I am, Meriden. I don't have family blocked. I don't go out of my way to delete them off my Facebook if we have a disagreement. And yeah, unless my wife has one aunt that there was a big squabble a couple years back of her dad's finally trying to be a little more present in our lives and whatnot, and her aunt lost her shit one day, and if you're on friends with this guy, you need to just delete me now, because I don't want any part near him. And we're like, okay, see ya, there's the door. Yeah. And then of course after she found out that we'd deleted her, she goes, well, I wasn't meaning you guys. And it's like, no, you put it out there plain as day that if we're friends with him, that you wanted nothing to do with any of it, and reap what you sow, So I will take it back. That is the one family member that we have deleted because drama. But the advantage of Facebook, with everything else, but they're kind of in the same boat too, They don't usually ever call and ask about the kids or this or that. They usually just call to fill us in on everything going on in their lives and all the stuff they're dealing with. And but yeah, Mirden, it's if they want to be a part of our lives, they'll make the effort. I got more really good friends than I do family that I consistently talk to. I got the one sister that I talk to consistently, you know. And as far as my other siblings, yeah, we may not talk as much, but they all know that if something's going down in their life and they need their brother, they know I'm just a phone call away. We had a big family thing happen that impacted all of us a couple years ago, and it kind of brought all of us siblings together to deal with it. And of course, my oldest sister decided I hate that it takes a family tragedy to bring all of us together. And I was like, don't get me wrong. I was like, the only reason why I'm talking to you is to keep you in the loop on this situation. I was like, you and me, we're good for now. I was like, but you and I was like, we need to sit down and have a long talk as adults and figure out where exactly the disconnect happened and what the fuck happened. I was like, there was a lot of shared words that we need to talk about. Not that I'm really mad about, but I was like, there's a lot of air that really needs cleared before we're good, Then after that conversation, she kind of went dark and all of a sudden blocked me on Facebook again. And then we had a grandma pass away 2 years ago. And no, it was last year, wasn't it? Last year. There's been so much shit in my family, I can't keep track of years. But last year, our grandma passed, and Dad wanted us to go down and go through her property and try and get all the siblings there at the same day. Well, my older sister couldn't make it. Well, because us other 4 siblings made it, she went and blocked all the siblings on Facebook, and I'm like, oh my God. My youngest sister, I don't know why she blocked me. This is just, we didn't even do anything to her. And I'm like, welcome to her. I was like, you literally don't have to do anything to her and she'll block you. I was like, it's just how she is. It's like, just go about your day. She'll pull her head out of her ass someday. She usually does, and then it goes right back up there. It's almost like a suction force from hell, but, yeah, she was just so blown away for the fact that she was blocked. And I'm like, yeah, it's just another day. Oh, shit, I gotta take it all the way down there. Oh, damn it. Every time I get a message from family, is them wanting something from or wanting me to do something from. Right, exactly, Mirden. That's what a lot of it is. And with my older sister, it was funny because it happened to be right about the time that my wife and I bought our house and was making something of our lives over here. Cause when we first started in the town we're in, when I started my job before our daughter was born, we were, old school mentality. We were trailer trash because the cheapest place we could find that we could afford that worked for us and got us in quick because, we had a pit bull and a half pit bull and every other apartment and everything else shut us down for having aggressive breeds, and this trailer park was the only one that let us in. So of course, while we was low on the totem pole trailer trash, she'd stop by all the time, everything else. And then when we bought our house and moved into it, it was all of a sudden, I don't have time, or I'm not feeling well, so we're just going to go home. And it was just a quick trip over there because she lives about 30 minutes away. But we live in a major hub city where it's got Walmart and all the other major stores, so she's over here constantly going shopping, but it just, like you said, one excuse after another as to why they can't stop by or why they don't call, why they don't talk. And it's just like, okay, you figure your life out and I'll keep sitting here doing mine. I'm not going to put my life on hold because you want to do stupid shit. Right. Yeah, I am. I am basically the black sheep out of all my siblings. You know, my uh, grandpa died four years ago, and um, the whole he had basically terminal cancer, and I kept telling my older sister that, you know, every time we'd go down and see him and see how far he'd gone downhill, I kept telling her, it's like, you need to go see him. You need to go see him. It's not good. You need to see him. Or you need to at least pick up the phone and talk to him. Well, and then after he passed, you know, her and I got talking, and I was pissed because he was constantly asking about her, constantly wanting to talk to her, always asking me what's going on in her life. I was like, it, you know, it sucked, but I don't know. And he passed, and her and I were talking. I was like, you know, the least you could have done was picked up the phone and let him know you cared. And she's like, well, why would I do that and just get shit on? I was like, because Grandpa was constantly asking about you, that's why. And she turned it around with the whole, well, if you would have told me that in the first place, that he was asking about me, I would have called. I was like, what part of him having terminal cancer? And you needed to talk to him. Did you not understand? I was like, are you that thick in the fucking skull that I need to spell it out in crayon for you? So again, I'm a blunt motherfucker. People do stupid things in my family. I will put it bluntly to them, and I'm usually the bad guy for it. But like I tell everybody all the time, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4", almost 300 pounds. I have broad shoulders, and I can carry a lot of weight. I can carry it, be the asshole in the family. I can do it. Doesn't faze me one damn bit. And of course, when Grandma died, you know, we went down and started going through her place, and there was a little bit of greed and this and that going on, and I had to stand in with a couple of the siblings at first, and because I could see the toll it was taking on my dad. He's one, he doesn't talk about his emotions or anything, but I could see that just everybody fighting and everything was pissing him off. So I finally had to step in and basically be the bad guy again and be like, hey, you know, knock your and this was when she first passed. This was before we went down and went through everything. This was right after she passed. We all met up to make sure Dad was okay. And I had to be the bad guy and step in and be like, you know, this is not what we're here for right now. This is not what we're about right now. I was like, you're putting undue strain and stress on Dad, more than what he's already going through, and he doesn't need it, you know. So I was there was two of my siblings that were at least one sibling that was kind of pissed at me for that, and I told him, I was like, it's not the time nor the place. Like, Dad just lost his mom. Like, knock your shit off. We'll figure out everything when the waters calm down. Yeah, that's always been me. I've always been more of the no bullshit. I've been the enforcer of the family, and yeah, that's me. I'm yeah, that's one thing that with my mom. Granted, that's, you know, I'm only 30. I turned 35 this month, now that we're in April. And, you know, my parents still have quite a ways to go. And my mom, she only has myself and my older sister. And my dad has, so my dad remarried, and that's where the other three siblings come in. They're only half siblings, but, you know, blood's blood. And, so my mom only has me and my older sister, and my older sister is pretty much damn near writ her out of her life. So, yeah, when Mom and my stepdad's time come, it's already been put that I will inherit their junkyard, as they call it, which I'm really not looking forward to have to deal with all that, because they got like 30 fucking vehicles. But the other thing I hate looking forward. I don't look forward to it. I hate knowing it's coming. Is all the, oh, well, I want this, I want that, you know, and that's, my mom and stepdad have already written it up in their will that, you know, my stepdad has 2 kids separate from a different marriage too, but they've already got it written up in a will. They did it 8 or 9 years ago that You know, everything goes to me, that nobody else gets anything. So then you get to be the bad guy again, because it's like, you know, you wanted nothing to do with their lives, then all of a sudden you want something because now that they're gone. No, you know. Yeah, we had another good example of it. We had another good family friend of ours. He passed away of a stroke last summer, and our newest son actually took his first name as a middle name because he meant a lot to us. And I swung in last fall to check on his wife, make sure she was doing okay. And they were getting ready to do a yard sale of everything in his shop and everything, and they're, you know, out pricing everything and this and that. And his wife's telling me about all, you know, her jewelry and his guns, where they went and this and that. And she goes, and she finally looks at it, she goes, "Oh my God," she goes, "I feel so bad that I didn't save anything for you and your wife." I looked at her, I was like, "Billy," I was like, that's not what I'm here for. You know, I'm not the type that a family member or a really good friend dies and I'm going to come in and clean house, you know, because, oh, I've always wanted this of yours, I've always wanted that. No. Granted, though, she made sure my truck was full of tools and blankets and all this stuff of pads. You know, she's like, you're gonna leave with something. And I was like, all right, Billy, like, don't freaking. She basically, lack of better words, threatened me. Oh, you son of a bitch. But you know, I had to tell her. I was like, that's not me. I'm not the type that when somebody dies, I don't come in and try and clean house. You know, I'm not. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I was like, my thing is to make sure you're doing good, you know. I've never been a scalper. It was the same thing when my grandma passed away, you know. I went down, looked through the shop, looked through the house, you know, got a couple mementos for, you know, she was into porcelain figurines, so I got quite a few porcelain figurines because she had millions of them, you know, for my wife and myself and my kids to be able to put on a shelf to remember her by. Hey, Ezio, welcome back. And so, you know, I just kind of went through the shop, and I never really saw anything that it was like, yes, you know, I want that. You know, my siblings, you know, they had to go buy totes to load their truck. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but, you know, they found more stuff that was more mementos to them, you know. And I was just more or less there to basically keep the air calm and keep fights from happening. And, you know, I found a few things here and there. Like I said, I was just more mementos for the family, you know, stuff for us to remember my grandma by. And that's how I've always been, you know. Grandpa died, nothing. I didn't try and scalp anything from his house, nothing. I just wanted to be there for the family, make sure everyone was doing all right. If anything gets left to me, cool. If I can find a memento or two, cool, but I'm not going to go out of my way, you know. And that was the funny thing, was a good friend that passed away when I was checking in on his wife, you know, she had a phone call. And so I went out in the garage. They had a really good family friend there as well, helping go through the garage and price everything, as well as his son was there helping go through everything and price everything. And of course, his son, you know, I'm browsing through anything. I was getting ready, you know, if I did see something, I was going to go down to the ATM and buy it from him. You know, if I saw something I couldn't live without. And the family friend come up. He goes, you know, I'm sure that if we just talk to Billy, you know, there's some things in here that you could probably just take. And his son popped in. Yeah, within reason, though. It can't be, you know, if it's too expensive, we need money for it and this and that. And I was looking. I was like, I'll probably just snag one of these blankets. They had one of the big old Indian style blankets, you know. They had like 4 of them. So I was like, yeah, I'll probably just snag one of these blankets for the wife, because I know it'll mean a lot of where I got it from. And, well, their family friend goes, well, I got to go inside and go pee real quick. And then, of course, that pee turned into a 20-minute hiatus of him being gone. So I probably should have figured something was up. Well, then he comes back out and he goes, well, I just got done talking to Billy and I didn't realize what you guys meant to the family. He goes, and Billy and I kind of come to an agreement where if you see something out here, it's yours. No matter the price. He goes, unless it's already got a sold tag on it. He goes, if you see something, it's yours. And I'm like, man, that's not what I'm here for. It's not what I'm here for. And so I went back in and talked to Billy. She goes, well, did you find anything? I was like, yeah, those blankets out there. I was like, I figure I'll just, I'll snag one of them blankets for Tosh. She really likes blankets, and I know it'd mean a lot for her. Billy goes, load up all 4 blankets. I was like, no. I was like, I'm not going to do that. She goes, no. Load up those 4 blankets, or I'm going to go out there and load them up for you. I was like, okay. You know, I'm not gonna be the one to sit here and argue with you. I'm not gonna find a way to upset you just because I'm stubborn in my old way. But yeah, I wound up walking out with more shit. Like, I'd even just take a second look at something, and their family friend would grab it and go throw it in my truck. It's like, oh my god, dude, you're killing me. Yeah. So. Yeah. I don't know. It's life, and sometimes life is irritating and it sucks, and you just gotta fight through it and move on. Just gotta focus on you. I should have known better than to come over this freaking hump. I know, I still gotta figure out that crane's pretty much just gonna have to be reset, because I'm not gonna go dig that damn thing out of the mud. Story time with Bombtech, yeah. Mirden and I kind of went down the rabbit hole about, you know, family and being black sheeps and being the assholes, and yeah. Yeah, we kind of went down, we went down a pretty good rabbit hole there for a while, so. You know, that's the other thing about me is, you know, I've watched streamers that they're like, you know, we're only going to talk about this game. We're not going to talk about anything else. You know, within reason, you know, I'll talk about stuff. I usually don't. I'll try not to go too specific. You know, I sure as hell ain't going to broadcast where I live, you know, out in public. And granted, though, people want to try and come stalk me or fuck with my shit, they're more than welcome to. You know, I got 3 dogs and a lot of lead poison injectors that might make them think twice. Because luckily for the state I live in, we're castle doctrine, so. Yeah. That's one thing about my neighborhood is, man, Ezio, they will come with time, man. They will come with time. We're gonna kind of move off those. We're gonna change course here for a minute. But interesting stories will come, Ezio. I mean, hell, I'm sure if you really sat down and think about it, you probably do got some interesting stories. Everybody does. Hell, I was a wild child as a teenager, so I can tell you off-roading stories, hunting stories from even my teenage years, you know. And it's actually quite interesting with my life. I got yes, Sam, you have way too many interesting stories to count about how a pebble has kicked your ass more times in your life than anything else. Lighting your hand on fire, dude. Man, let's hear it, Ezio. Let's hear it. You got me interested, man. I was also a pyro as a kid, so that's what I was just telling Mirden. I mean, hell, teenage years, younger years, gotta have some stories. Oh, dude, 21. Come on, Ezio. Come on. You gotta have something. That's 21 years, 365 days a year. You gotta have something. Like I said, hell, lighting your hand on fire, you piqued my interest, man. I was, like I said, I was full-blown pyro as a kid. I lit a haystack on fire and burned like $4,000 worth of hay to the ground, and then tried using the excuse that there was a tarantula that I was trying to burn with matches. Hey, but there are tarantulas in Idaho, okay? They're just not big like everywhere else. They're tiny. But there is. I can go, if I find one, I'm going to take a picture and be like, Idaho tarantula, here you go. They're about the size of a penny. They're not very big. Give me 10 or so minutes and I'll give my fire story. All right, man. Yeah, it's 2 decades, man. That's a long time. You know, I got 3.5 decades worth of stories. Everybody's got stories at some point in their life. It never fails. Yeah, no, I've been in the pirate, and you know, that's the funny thing. My body's, I'm almost 35. And my body has seen a lot. You know, my mom always gives me crap. Oh, good hell, old man, you're only 35. You're too young to be acting like that and grunting and groaning. And I just keep looking at her and be like, well, it's not the years, it's the miles. Oh, that's a high one. I don't need a high saddle. Oh. How am I going to do this to where I can run multiple? Oh, I really don't want to drive a truck all the way up there. We'll go get the Western Star. Screw it. You're an uneventful person. Dad waterboarded me when I lit my hair on fire welding. Yeah, that's pretty entertaining, Sam. On having a big brother, you guys got waterboarded more than once with a garden house, so you ought to be used to it by now. Let's just say when you guys were little, older brother was always the one fascinated with kinking the hose and just waiting for that perfect moment that you guys would stare down the open end of the hose, trying to figure out what's going on. Picked it up, started setting toilet. That's pretty funny, Mirden. I've yet to do any fire related. Well, okay, I take that back. I did try and create some jet engines with glass bottles in our basement one year with brake cleaner and isopropyl alcohol. And my wife was pretty impressed until my buddy grabbed the can of brake cleaner and it had an open flame going. He tried lighting my arm on fire and singed all my hair on my arm. That was when she called the end to our shenanigans. Yeah. No, I was always the one, you know, my cousins growing up, we'd find all the empty bottles of carburetor cleaner and paint and whatnot and throw them in the fire pit and see what happens. Same thing with the loaded 9mm round that we found in his garage. That's why going and being a bomb technician was like the go-to thing for me, because explosions, fire, that was kind of my go-to growing up, was seeing what I could make go boom and what just burned. And yeah, science experiments is what my daughter calls those, but luckily she doesn't get into the crazy shit that I used to. But yes, Sam, I'm sure you learned real quick about having your hair on fire from welding that if you're going to weld, you're going to get burned, you're going to have your hair lit on fire. I had a bald spot about the size of a penny burned into my head for a long time in high school because I was welding one day without a beanie and had a big old slob of freaking slag come down and hit me right on top of the noggin. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's fun. Mess with fire, you're going to get burned at some point. Oh, yes. Yeah, slag in the ear was never fun either. Slag? Slag. Held a reason for... Sam! Mirden! Apparently slag is a bad word according to my auto mod. Slag hit you on the noggin. What did you do to her? Damn, I got auto mod. I know, dude. It was the word slag for both of you got caught in the auto mod. Twitch cracks me up some days. Apparently, yeah. But so since my wife doesn't know what slag is, so as you're welding, the hot metal, molten metal that comes off of a weld is slag. It's just molten metal, another word for molten metal. And yeah, I had a big old glob. I was welding an overhead weld, and a big old glob of it fell down and landed right on my head. And yes, Mirden, I figured where you were going with that. And that, again, that's about like trying to, when my wife was asking me earlier about twat, she goes, well, isn't that another word for cigarette? And I'm like, no, that's a fag over there, you know. It's interesting when you start learning more about other countries, how some words for us mean something entirely different in other parts of the world. And it's always been entertaining to me. Because, I mean, hell, over here stateside, if you go up and say, hey, can I have a fag to somebody, they're going to look at you like, what are you talking about? No, ugh. Yeah, they're going to tell you Charlie's is down the street here in the town I live in, so, yeah. I mean, if you got an accent and you come up to me and said, hey, can I bum a fag off of you? Oh, sure, yeah, I got a cigarette here. But at the same time, it's not even just different countries I learned. I was in the military for 4.5 years. I went to the eastern seaboard, I was in the central, I was in the south, and met a lot of people from all over the 50 states. I did some time in Tennessee, and the funniest thing, I got in an argument with like a 70-year-old woman at Walmart. She was the door greeter at Walmart when I walked in and asked her where the damn shopping carts were. You'd have swore to God I just committed a cardinal sin in front of the Pope. She goes, we don't call them shopping carts here. Here we call them buggies. I'm like, yeah, where I'm from, they're called shopping carts. A buggy is something that's pulled behind a horse. And apparently it's the same thing down in the south. So there's no differentiation between a shopping cart and a horse-drawn buggy. They're all buggies down there. Yeah, no, like I say, you just swore to God I did a cardinal sin in front of the Pope with that old lady. Her and I, oh God. We laughed about it afterwards, but yeah, it was just like night and day difference. Just, just between the states even. Buggies. Yeah, right. Oh God, and then went up to the upper UP up there in Wisconsin, and I'll call you, I can stick with accents pretty good for the most part, but there was one gal up there in the upper part of Wisconsin as they call it up there, and went to the grocery store, and so the people in the buggy are they're groceries, Sam, pretty much. So I went to this grocery store, went to check out, and this gal, I can't even begin to attempt to announce or pronounce the way she said it. But essentially she was asking me if I wanted a bag. But instead of bag, it was, would you like a bag? And I'm like, what the hell's a bag? A beggar? Like a beggar on the street? You need some coins? Like, are you hard up for money? Like what? And she goes, no, a bag. I'm like, what the hell's a bag? And my friend, who was from that area, who didn't have as thick of an accent, smacks me. She goes, you dumbass. She wants to know if you want a fucking bag. I'm like, oh, okay, yes, I would like a bag, please. Sorry. Yeah, it's all walks of life out there, all walks of life. Got a lot of friends that are Canadian. Canadians are fun to fuck with. Comment on that. Especially the ones that are trying to be ex-Canadian and not saying A with everything. Had one missionary, it was funny, he come by and he was from Canada. And you'd have never guessed, he didn't have the accent, he worked the accent out, wasn't saying A after everything, and finally found out after about a month of visiting with him that he was from Canada. So I was like, oh, how's it going, eh? He goes, oh, hey, it's going pretty good, eh? And he goes, I can't believe you got me to say that. He goes, I've been working so hard the last year to quit saying A about everything. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm an instigator. I got to see if I can get you to say it. He was pissed. Yeah. So that's the other thing with me is I am an instigator. I am big time instigator, but at the same time, you know, people think I'm an asshole, not approachable. I'm a dick because I'm an instigator. I like to have fun. I like to, lack of better words, fuck with people. But at the same time, I'm also one that anybody that truly knows me, you know, that if I push anything too far, all you gotta do is be an adult about it and let me know, you know, and I'll correct my actions. If I ever do anything to upset anybody, let me know. I'll fix it. I'm not about being corrected, you know. I'm not. People think I'm a dick, but at the same time, okay, well, I am a dick, according. Yes, I can be. I am, but at the same time, if I ever offend anybody or piss anybody off because of how I act, you know, I'm decent enough of a person to be like, okay, you know, I've offended you. I'm sorry. I won't say that again, or I won't do that again. You know, we won't do it. We won't go there. Newfies are pretty funny when you get them drunk. You talking Newfies as in Newfoundland? Newfoundland? I suck at pronouncing shit. You may be a dick. Oh, thanks, man. I mean, shit, you've put up with me for 8 years. I still though got to do my husband duties, and at least once a month I got to get her to look at me and say, "What the? You're fucked up." Yes. Also, very dark sense humored. Newfoundland, yeah, you can't understand a word they say. Get a doom buggy. Yep, correct. So, anyways, that's the other buggy thing was go down in the south. I was down in Tennessee, and I had an old lady at Walmart door greeter. I asked her if they had any shopping carts, and she goes, "We don't call them shopping carts down here. We call them buggies." And her and I proceeded to go back and forth for about 10 minutes arguing about shopping carts versus buggies. So yes, buggy in the south is another word for shopping cart. I think most of us are that way in the family with a dark sense of humor. You and me, yes. The other three, they claim to be dicks with a dark sense of humor, but you know it's bad when older brother has offended all three of the other ones. They get a little salty. But at the same time, they also know not to carry an attitude with me, all three of the siblings. Or all four of the siblings. Ours is definitely the worst. Yes, we are definitely the black sheep of the 5 kids. The other 3 tend to have a little bit more of both. Well, my older sister has more of my mom in her, and the other 2 younger ones have more of your guys' mom in them than dad. You and I have a lot of dad's not give a fuck mentality, and it makes it interesting, especially when you and I get together. How did the Canadians that you can't understand be brought up? Oh, it wasn't Canadian, Ezio. It was so what the Canadians were, we had one missionary, he was fun. He was trying to hide his accent, basically to make it to where people didn't know where he was from. So he worked on getting rid of the accent and also saying A. He was from one of the provinces up there where A is pretty, you know, oh, welcome to Canada, eh? You know, he was A was after everything. Can't remember which province he was from, but I've known others from there. And so I just had to fuck with him. So every time he come over, hey, how you doing, eh? And finally it slipped. He goes, oh, pretty good, eh? And he just froze. And he goes, I have spent the last year trying to lose my accent, trying to quit saying A after everything. And you just brought it back. So it's just more or less screwing with them. The one that I couldn't understand was Upper Peninsula, Wisconsin. So. Okay, so if we ever do that, your brother better be married, and the youngest had better be married. Because they are not going to be single around each other. No way in hell. They are too much alike, and I ain't doing that shit. We are not having a weird, my sister married your brother shit. Oh, no. No, hell no. Granted, they're perfect for each other, but we're not doing that type of shit. No. Mm-mm. They have to be married. Yeah. Mirrodin was the one that brought up Newfies. He said it was with the whole UP and the Wisconsin and the accents, and he goes, Newfies are hard to understand too. So that's where Newfies come in. Yes, I know, and we've said it before, and we'll say it again, and we will stand by that, Danny. That is not just no, but a hell no until both of them are married and no longer looking, and even then it will be supervised. They are two peas in a pod, them two. Yeah. Of course, I don't know. I think your brother's too city boy for her. Yeah, I think he's too city boy. Oh, trust me, don't I know? How much shit do I give her for having her moose ears out on her truck, even though she never pulls a fucking trailer? Oh, God, talk about it, irritate the fuck out of me. Yeah, I'm a truck owner. I own 2 big Dodge trucks, but I don't own them for the status symbol. Oh, look how small my pee-pee is. I own a big truck. And youngest sister finally bought a truck. And she's one of them, oh, I've got a truck. I'm such a badass. I got to flip my tow mirrors out and have a ghost trailer everywhere I go. Pisses me off. Ooh, one of my freaking... You know what? Keep doing this, we're just going to wind up having a, Family Guy Peter Griffin. You know what grinds my gears? Fucking tow mirrors up on your Dodges when you're not fucking towing anything. Ooh. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox about that bullshit. I'm going to start carrying some epoxy around, start epoxying some fucking mirrors down. Oh, I do too. I'll fold them down and then I'll take the glass and I'll move the glass all over the place just so our mirrors are completely out of fucking whack. So I will, one of these days, I will epoxy her fucking mirrors down. I will do it. Oh, well, I've hauled a trailer. Twice now. Oh, God. Even our younger brother got in with it. There's one day, we're all in a sibling Snapchat group with a couple other close family friends. I started harping on our youngest about her having her freaking tow mirrors out all the time, so younger brother decided to chime in with it too. It's his little asshole side coming out too. Had to borrow his mom's Dodge he was hauling horse trailer. And he goes, okay, Danny, he goes, now this is how this goes. And he's got himself recording himself putting the mirrors down. He goes, the trailer's disconnected. You fold the mirrors down. Oh my God, I died laughing. Danny didn't think it was too funny because we were picking on her, but I died laughing. Yeah, that's always been one of my irritants. It's, hey, look at me, I've got tow mirrors now. Good for you, fold them in. You're not towing nothing. They're called tow mirrors, not fucking, hey, look at me. The reason why she gets so much shit is she eggs it on. She eggs it on. She's got to have the attention. She has to. She's got to have the, oh, look at me. I got a big truck. I got tow mirrors. I look cool. Yeah. If So that whole April Fool's Law, Sam, if that law ever come to pass, she would be screwed because that truck just never really hardly worked since she's owned it. It's just been so, I'm so cool. I own a big diesel truck. Oh my God. Look at me. She thinks 1/4 and 3/4. Yeah. Fractions are not her strong suit. It was about like the other day when your neighbor slid off the road, and I told her just to go pull it out, and she told me she was worried about her truck flipping. And I was like, that's fine. Your truck's already been rolled once. It ain't gonna hurt it. Oh, was she pissed. About like when I give her shit about how many times her truck's been off in the field versus on the road. Spent more time being a farm truck out in the middle of a field than it has on the road. And by God, she wasn't doing no farming. Out of all of us kids, I think she has been the hardest on fucking vehicles. I have had one major wreck in my life that totaled my car out. Let's see, Sam, you've had one major wreck in your life. Charlie hasn't. He just beats the hell out of his trucks. And I've lost track of how many times Danny's had her rig on the back of a freaking tow truck before. I've lost track. She burned one to the ground, had that one out in the middle of the freaking field, I don't know how many times. I don't get it. Charlie took out a fence. When did he take out the fence, and what the hell was he in? Oh, was that your mom's truck that he took the fence out on? Fractions aren't a strong suit for many people. A&W's 1/3 pounder failed as people thought it looked smaller than a 1/4 pounder. Yeah. Trust me, SEO people are not the brightest. So I don't remember Charlie taking out a fence. That's the only thing I can think of is your mom's Dodge, right? Because the front end's all different colors. She never had the fenders and everything painted to match. Oh, okay. See, and that's just Charlie and I not being super close and talking every day. I had no idea he slid off the road and into a fence. So I guess 3 out of the 4 of us have taken out a fence. You've just tried taking out a rock wall. At least you took out the rock wall instead of winding up in the river in the middle of winter. It'd be sad not to have a Sammy in your life. Actually, it might have been the Eagle. Hey, now, I was testing my bumper out. Yeah, you definitely tested that one out. That's for damn sure. But you know, there's other ways to test a bumper out than a rock wall. Testing, yeah. I think that's what our youngest sibling always says too. She was testing how the field was. She wound up 40 yards out in the field after she slid off the road. Still trying to figure that one out. I don't know how you slide off the road on a straight stretch, wind up 40 yards out in the field. I think phone in hand might have had a little bit to do with that one. That's the thing with French. He tests a lot of stuff. I jumped into his TikTok stream for a little bit last night about the, the French After Dark with where you can request music to be in the music to play. Yeah, let's just say the text to speech was not very. He was all over the place. People started sharing the live, and then all of a sudden we jumped up to about 100 freaking viewers, and Let's just say there was a bunch of people using words in chat that probably shouldn't have been used on TikTok stream, and yeah, he was running all over the place there for a hot minute, freaking muting people, and passed out before he started that. Yeah, it was fun. It was nice, just sitting there chilling, vibing. And then people decided not to vibe, and he's decent. He doesn't just automatically ban people. He's trying to make it a fun environment and get people to just hang out. And so he started off by muting them, and there was one dude. He got muted for 5 minutes, and then he come back in and mute me, huh? Let's see what type of man you are. Let me come to where you live, so then you can't mute me in real life. And it's just like, dude, this dude was just a freaking instigator. Oh no, Frenchie had some patience with him. He muted him, I think, 4 or 5 times in the stream, and then finally permanently muted him for the rest of the stream. Like, Frenchie has quite a bit of patience with that. Blackbeard, Michael, he was trying to get in there and do some defending and whatnot, and even Frenchie's like, dude, I got it. Like, just vibe. Don't stoop down. Don't start shit, And yeah, he definitely had a lot more patience last night than I think I would have. I would have just, for sake of blowing up on people, I would have just hit the ban hammer on them for being freaking dumb. But the thing about French is he tries to, and I'm not afraid to let people in, But if you want to come in and start doing stupid shit, yeah, I also have no problem being like, see ya. If you just want to come in here, cause a ruckus, be stupid, do stupid shit, risk my stream and the viewers that want to be in my stream, then see ya. Yeah, he definitely has a lot more patience in the streaming than I think I could have. Just some of the streams I've sat in on and the way people can get with what they're saying and name calling and shit like that, and just trying to be dicks. Yeah, it was pretty good though. It was kind of entertaining being able to. I uh, I put a lot of songs in the queue that he finally, he's like, dude, he goes, you need to be a DJ. He goes, these songs vibe. And I was like, I could put a whole playlist together for you. Just, hey, there's a fence there. Yeah.
They fall over.
Yeah, Mirrodin, he definitely has, more, are you talking whose live was it, Sam? When he's on next, I'll shoot you a share to the stream. But he's a good time. We like to have fun in there. Well, he did pretty good at Ezio, where he was just kind of, he was just playing that balloon popping game, so it wasn't like he had to have his full attention on the game to where mods were necessary last night. It was just opening up the text-to-speech full time was just, people got in there, people started being stupid. After a while, it kind of mellowed out. It wasn't bad. Yeah, no, when I don't know if he's planning on streaming tonight, but if he is, I'll share the stream with you. He's pretty cool. Yeah. Excuse me. That's one thing I've noticed. So I've done a little bit of the streaming to TikTok, but of course without a capture card, I have to basically backdoor it in, which is kind of a pain for me. But there is a lot of those ones that pop in on the TikTok stream and free coins and this and that, and it's a pain. Especially so the way I have to do it is I have to pop up the stream and then go live on my phone and then pull the stream up on my phone. So then basically it's just a screen record off my phone. So for me to try and moderate the bots when they come in there, just kind of, I quit doing the TikTok streams for now. When I get a capture card, I'll probably be able to do a little bit more of that, just so that way I can moderate that a little bit better. Yeah, it's definitely his late night streams to get the trolls.
Mrs. Cutler messaged me and said, I just want to give Ruby a shout out. She grew 47 points on her monthly ISAT assessment. I am so impressed.
Nice. I didn't realize there was ISAT testing today. Well, oh my God, this one's all over the place. Metal beam, concrete slabs. Oh my God. That moment you recover trucks because you think you got a minute, and then you realize you got to go all over hell and back for these freaking missions. Log station at Island Lake, fuel, consumables, concrete block. God, Jesus. Oh, all over the place, I tell you. Fucking bullshit. Slab, metal beam. Oh my God. Yeah, I should not have pulled those trucks back to my shop yet. Yeah, and that's what I was telling him last night, Meriden. It almost seemed like they were doing that because they'd pop in and say hi, and then they'd follow, and then all of a sudden the same chat would like be pasted right into the chat and read off, and it's like, yeah, they're literally trolling, looking for TTS on lives. Which makes it hard for the people that are just in it to have fun to, do that. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of back and forth in this game for sure, Ezio. I need to plan a night, and Taco from French's stream has been wanting to play this with me, so definitely gotta pick a night and get in here with him and have some fun. Oh God, I should have left them 2 trucks there and taken both them trailers down into the quarry. Dang it. Oh, those 2 are all over the place again. You gotta be freaking shitting me. Alright, let's do something here. Let's retain. Let's pull some. I got trucks all over this map. This is going to be a long process here. Oh, no, I don't want Smithville. I got anything in Black River? No trucks in Black River. Okay, Island Lake, I've got some trucks. So, and of course, this game, this save too, Ezio, I'm trying to stay true to the game. I have 2 mods active on this game. One is some logging trailers, and one of them is this truck. It's kind of a cheater truck, but I wound up rolling a truck in a very, very, very bad spot, and there's no way in hell I could have gotten anything in there to recover it. And it was in Drummond Island, which there's no garage, so I can't respawn in the map. I have to spawn at this map and then drive clear to it. So I downloaded this modded truck just because that moment pissed me off and I was done messing around. I gotta say, this is one game that, this one and my farming simulators are 2 that I consistently stay with. I own every DLC to this game. I have bought, I think I've only got like 2 or 3 DLCs that are trucks, but they're more highway trucks that I haven't bought yet, just because I hate highway trucks because they don't have all-wheel drive and they're pretty much useless in this game. But this is one of the few games with my farming simulator that I have I have kept up with, bought every expansion. I own every map. This one's actually got season 15 coming out here in, I think it was the 20th of April. They're supposed to come out with season 15, so I'm getting excited for another map. So I grind it every once in a while. I've restarted and done Michigan, I think, probably 10 times in the entirety of this game. So it's always a fun one, just kind of get in and grind on and mess around with. My wife likes to have modded trucks in her game. She gets stuck all the time, gets irritated. I'm waiting for the hand to come flying at me. She was sidetracked, that's good. That works out. I was talking about how you like to use modded trucks because you get irritated with stock trucks getting stuck all the time.
Hell yeah, just like I play with 10-year-olds. I'm not afraid to admit that I can't figure this way out.
She had one night, she was trying to haul logs for a mission, and man, she just got pissed off. There's no way in hell you can get truck and trailer up this hill and through this bog without flipping it. And I was like, oh, let me see your controller. Let's see what I can do. And it took me a little bit longer, but I was able to do it. And she's just like, yeah, I don't have the patience for that, because it was literally you were in low range crawling just inch by inch by inch. Speedy, I'm not sure exactly where I'm sure almost an hour and 42 minutes or hour and 43 minutes into the stream. You know, I'm pretty sure, knock on wood, of course, knock on wood. I'm pretty sure that this will help get me that .01 that Twitch decided to screw me out of. I woke up yesterday morning and my freaking heart sunk because I thought, oh, hell yeah, we had a decent stream. I was at like a 2.86 out of 3. I'm like, yeah, this will kick me over that 3. Easy, right? And then I woke up yesterday morning, pulled it up 2.99. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So, yeah, it's definitely making it a grind. That's for sure. You know, at first the 50 followers felt like a lot. You know, I had like 10 followers when I first really started grinding a month or so ago. And man, I was so worried more about the followers than I was that average. You know, the average is like, well, yeah, average is cool, but unless I get the followers, you know, I'm not going to be able to get the average and this and that. So I finally just buckled down and started looking into it and started networking, bounced into all these streams. You know, Frenchman's stream has helped me out a lot. I got another buddy, Curdy OD, his streams helped me out a lot. Screwball, he popped in here. He's been phenomenal, helping me out, you know. Just getting with all these other streamers and getting to know the crowd and talking, you know. I've never really had to ask. You know, a few of them have asked me how the grind is going, you know, and I just, hey, you know, I'm at 40 followers and so many average hours, and all of a sudden, cling, 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 I'd get like 2 or 3 follows. Here you go, you know. These guys have been phenomenal. And getting to know them, you know, and getting to watching their streams, you know, I enjoy popping in, bullshitting them from time to time. I've got about 10 streamers that, man, it's getting hard to pick and choose who to watch. You know, I got to kind of bounce around. I'll pop into one stream, sit there for 5-10 minutes, and then, oh, hey, I'm going to, you know, bounce over to this guy's stream. If I got time to sit here on the computer, you know, I'll pull up multiple streams and kind of bounce in and out of the chats. And so not only with my stream, you know, but supporting these other streamers, you know, it's pretty busy. You know, I do a lot of lurking, and I try to not lurk constantly, try to still, you know, be involved in other people's streams as well, you know, and that's more or less what's really helped the last month with grinding this affiliate out, is just getting to know all these awesome streamers, you know. And Screwball's awesome, and yeah, he's fun to go in and mess with. Wade the Hunter, I think I met Screwball a few months ago when he was doing the Way of the Hunter grind. He rated my stream with a few of his viewers, you know, and he shot me a follow. I shot him one back, got a few follows off of that one. You know, I pop into his stream quite consistently just to mess with him and have fun and bullshit with him. And, you know, yeah, there's been a pretty good handful that have been a major part in this grind of getting my affiliate. So I got to give huge thanks to them. Just trying to stream and do it myself off my own streams. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the community, without Ezio. Ezio's been in here pretty much every damn time I get in here and stream. Mirrodin's come in quite a few times. Screwball usually pops in and lurks. I got another one, Cody. He pops in quite a few times and lurks. Kurt's raided me a few times now, and yeah, the community's there. You just gotta network. Gotta get get talking to people, get to know people, not just expect it to happen. You can't force it to happen. You gotta basically gotta force it to happen in a way. You gotta put in the work behind it to make it happen. And yeah, it's been a long grind. But it's a great community that I have built. I've got, I don't know how many streams, I could pop in there, and it's like I told my wife, I'm not a nobody to a lot of these streamers. I pop in and, hey, bombtech's here, hey, how's it going? How's the kiddo? How's the wife? How's the fam? I get to know more of people, not just, oh, hey, they're streaming this game, I'm just going to sit here and lurk them. I've put my name out there. People know me. People know what I do. A lot of you guys have become really good friends. I can sit here and bullshit with you, about life and everything else. So it's been good. I'm hoping that after today, cross my fingers, but this should be the 4th check mark on my affiliate, which means, I'm not going to, oh, I've got my affiliate, I'm going to give up. No, I'm going to keep trying to stream when I can, and also keep popping into everybody else's streams. I'm also not the type that, once I grind out my affiliate, I'm just going to kick everybody else to the curb. And, you guys supported me, but I've got my affiliate now. Screw you. No, I'm still going to be in there supporting everybody's streams. It's community. And for a community to thrive, you got to be a part in supporting that community as well, So, again, off my soapbox. Let's find something to do. It's been a grind. It is almost 4 o'clock, so I think. See, I gotta go pick her up because Becky will be here. What, 5:30? Yeah, we got time. So I got about, I don't know, another 20-ish minutes of streaming. So yeah, I'm sitting at 10 right now, and I've been sitting at 10 for I think the last 40 or so minutes. But I think the lowest view count I had was when I first popped up, with my account streaming and the wife's. I think I had like 2 starting at. And then, Ezio come in, and then everybody just started coming in. So I'm pretty sure this stream's going to have a really good average again. I mean, hell, just the other night when I was doing Way of the Hunter, I averaged 6.5 for the entirety of the stream. So, but again, Twitch math is apparently way weird because, 6.5 average, you think that would have bumped it up from a 2.86 to a 3, at least a 3, but no, a 2.99. That was so disheartening. Yeah, Screwball's stream is, usually really awesome, really laid back, and, on the other night, he raided into Fireman's stream. I can't remember his exact full name, but joined into his stream, and I, followed him, sat there bullshitting with him for a little bit, and started talking about, 3D printing. That's the other thing. It's not always just about the games here. It's just people coming together to enjoy video games, but at the same time, it's people bullshitting, people talking about life, talking about what they enjoy, all sorts of stuff. It's literally just a community, and it's a great community to be a part of. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time. Yeah, it's Twitch is teasing me hard. It's fun. It's something I enjoy. I enjoy getting to know people. I enjoy making friends and talking to people, and it's fun. I enjoy it. So I'm hoping that things keep going. And like I said, even after I get my affiliate, you guys will you'll still see me popping into everybody else's streams, lurking, talking, BSing, having fun. Because without all them other streamers and without this community, I wouldn't be anywhere near my affiliate. I'd still just be Joe Schmo, streaming every once or twice a month, and yeah, it's definitely been it's been a grind, and I'm glad that I've been on paternity leave to do a lot of the major grinding. The super late nights when I was streaming Insurgency. Those were some late nights. I was up till 1 or 2 in the morning, and then last week was spring break, so we had all the kiddos home. So of course, having to get up and deal with our other 2 kiddos. They still went to daycare for most of the days, just so we could have kind of a break with the newborn. And with my wife dealing with the newborn and her sleepless nights, last week, I will admit, was freaking rough, man. Staying till 1, 2 in the morning, streaming, talking, and then having to turn around and be up around 7 o'clock. My daughter would come out at 6 o'clock. She'd sit on the couch with me about 7 o'clock. She'd start digging her elbow into me, and Dad, we got to get up. We got to get going. And I'm like, I'm getting up. I'm tired as hell, but I'll get up. French is to thank for some of it. Oh, dude, French is to thank for quite a lot of it. Yeah. And it's funny because the way I first met French wasn't on Twitch. It was on TikTok. I was just strolling through TikTok, and his live feed come up, and I popped in and, watched him and watched the invasions, and yeah, it just blew up from there. French has been good. I've been with French damn near since day one. When he was still, I think one of the first streams I watched of his, he was close to his affiliate, but not quite there. So I was there from the grind, from him, that final grind to make affiliate till now, and he's creating a good community. He's kind of about like me, he's not in it for the money. He wants to build a community, and that he's doing what he enjoys. And those are the Twitch streamers and the TikTok streamers that I enjoy following, And same thing with Curdy OD, he's trying to, streaming helps his family out a lot, so I do help him out quite a bit. He's medically retired military, so he's living off a pension. His wife's trying to become a doctor, So he streams pretty consistently 2 to 3 times a day, and I'm there supporting him as well. Just trying to help any way I can with him, in his streams and whatnot. And Blackbeard grinding for his affiliate, if I got the time, like Monday, wife and I were out running around doing errands. So I popped it into his stream, and I literally had his stream up on my phone in the center console of the car, just there so I could help him out with a viewer average. I wasn't able to actively participate the whole day, but I did what I could with him, just to help him out. I said the communities are great. Gaming community is awesome. I will say that. And prior to, up until, I think it was, a year or 2 ago, my wife had no idea what Twitch even was. And I started her with her own Twitch account. She doesn't stream yet. I keep trying to talk her into it, just shits and giggles. Because that was kind of what started me in streaming. I didn't really catch the grind. I didn't really catch the, I want to get my affiliate, till later on. But, like I said earlier in the stream, I started streaming about 10 years ago when I was in the military. I wasn't doing it to make money. I was doing it, I was half the states away from family, good friends. I would stream, and mainly for my little brother at the time. My little brother would pop in and watch my streams quite a bit, just so he could still be a part of my life. Gaming was a pretty big thing for me and my younger siblings. I started my little brother in the gaming, even though Dad resents it. But, it's what he enjoys doing, just like I do. I enjoy playing games at the end of the day. But that's what I used to stream when I was in the military, was I would stream my games. My little brother would just come in and watch me play. That was something he enjoyed, was always sitting there when he was real little, watching me play Grand Theft Auto, play Battlefield, play, I'm trying to think of some of the older ones, my off-road racing games back on the old 360. He enjoyed growing up watching me play games. That was his thing growing up. That was all my siblings' thing. And that was what, like I said, I've never been in streaming to make money. That's not what I'm here for. If I do make a little bit, cool, but I'm not going to be the type, that, oh, I'm going to set a goal, see how many subscribers I can get in here so I can get you guys subscribed. No, you guys subscribe to me, cool, thanks, awesome, I appreciate it, but you don't have to. Just like French, he doesn't expect people to subscribe to him. He doesn't expect people to gift to him. That's not what he's here for. He's here to game. He's here to have a good time. And that's the way I've always been. I enjoy gaming. I enjoy sharing gaming. I enjoy watching other people play games and getting to know people and help them out. But I'm not in it to make money. I'm not in it to be greedy. I'm not in it to, you'll never see subscriber goals come across my streams. You won't. I'm not, that's not me. And like I said, the whole reason why I want affiliate is not, not for the making money on the ads, not making money off subscribing, even though I tell my wife that as soon as I do get affiliate, she had better be my first subscriber, just because. She's been my biggest fan. I'm going to make sure. She's like, well, that just puts money right back in our household. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, you're going to be my first subscriber, just for shits and giggles. That's the only person I've ever said, if I get affiliate, you're going to subscribe to me. Anybody else? You guys? No. It's not going to be needed. It's not going to be wanted. If you do, awesome. But if not, it's not going to break my heart. It's not going to keep me doing what I do. I want affiliate just more for the fun and games. The channel points, the polls. Hey, I want to do, what do you guys think I should do with this one? Like with SnowRunner. Put a poll in there. Which truck does chat want to see me struggle with on this map? Or like Frenchman. You got different things that, okay, well, I'm gonna do a poll. I'm gonna do, if I'm doing a gun game, I'm gonna use this gun or I'm gonna use that gun. Make it more fun for you guys too. Get you guys more involved. Have some fun with it. I enjoy watching more than playing. I watch you and Charlie a lot. Yes, you do. Maybe in 6 years you'll try. Yeah, it's tough having littles. Of course, when they want mom all the time. Yeah. See, Ruby's actually at that fun age right now where she's 7. Like the other night when I was in the hunting stream, she was in here. Man, she was in here typing and chatting with the best of them, with my, my sister and my best friend, and she was having a good old time in here. That's the fun age with kids, Yes, she does have her own Twitch, and yes, it is monitored by us as to who she can watch and when she can watch, But, it's just, that's been the other tough part about this grind, is having 3 kids too, and pets and life and responsibilities, and that's been the other part of the struggle. So we'll get there. But yeah, Sam, I've always, growing up with you kids, you guys were always just, you guys were always wanting to just watch. Charlie was always more wanting to play, MX versus ATV Unleashed and everything like that. And hey, what's up, Michael? How's it going? Wife, kids, and life. Oh my, right, Screwball? Yeah, no, they definitely keep us freaking busy. Yeah, it's fun. My daughter, I get on and play with her every once in a while. She's trying to get into gaming. She's about like my wife, though. She'd rather play Sims and make her household, have babies and have cats that apparently can run away and get all freaked out and pissed off, and she's fun. Stream's been good, man. There's been quite a few people in here today. I'm trying to grind out that last freaking .01 for my average. It's been good. Just talking about, BS and talking about life, and I think we've done more talking really, and sent me down a few rabbit holes on a couple tangents, and stream when you do because the wife goes to bed and no kids here. Yeah. We all get there eventually, Screwball. We all get there eventually. Of course, I've been able to stream quite a bit the last few weeks. Granted, yes, once I do start going back to work, it'll slow down a little bit and probably go mostly weekend streams, maybe a couple evening streams when I can get away with it. But like right now, it's just my wife, the 5-week-old, and myself. So I gotta leave here before too long, go pick up the older two. One's in school and one's in daycare, just so we can kind of get our naps in, since we're still not fully sleeping too well through the night. Lucky on which part, Blackbeard? Oh, affiliate. It's been a grind. Like I said, the biggest thing I've found is, well, I know you and I talked about the networking aspect of it, but like I said, also finding a game that, blows up. That was the biggest thing for me. I would try and stream SnowRunner. I'd get Screwball in here lurking, and talking a little bit, but it just, without the network and the community built up, it wouldn't be possible for me to stream SnowRunner right now. I'd still have to go out and do freaking Insurgency from 9 o'clock my time till 1 in the morning, because that was the game I found that blew up for me, was Insurgency. I don't know how, but that's what blew up, and it's been a long grind, but yeah, and a lot of it's just the stream times, the afternoon streams are nice, depending on the game. Late night streams are the better streams I've found, and like I said, that's why when I really started grinding with Insurgency, I'd pop into Frenchman's stream, hang out for half to 3/4 of it, and then I'd just put him on in the background on my phone, and I would fire up my stream, and just that way I was still there. I could still see what was going on in chat, but I was still catching the better times for me as well. I've been multitasking like a son of a gun the last few weeks. And the other thing, you and I talked about, I did realize that I still got a few days where, I'm half a viewer for a 6-hour stream on average, That was always the worst thing, was when I'd look down on a stream, I'd been streaming forever and have 0 viewers. I get it, man. It was always irritating. And that's why I told you, try a more active game, and you've been trying Battlefield, and a lot of it just depends on the timing too. I try and help out where I can, and the other thing you might have to do is, like Mearden said, hold on, oh my god, cheap viewers on Streamboo? No way. Got it. It's nice when I got the computer in front of me, because then I can just ban them. Oh, hey, look, you deleted it. Good job. But the other thing too, man, your stream times. If you have consistently long streams where there's low viewers, that'll kill you as well. I have, like I said, for the last week, I've been averaging, for the last 7 days, I think the lowest average I had was 4.7 viewers for the entirety of the stream. That's 7 days of really good viewer average, right? But I look back at my 30 days, and I have a lot of longer streams where I only average half a viewer, 3/4 of a viewer. So you got to take your stream times into account too. If you stream a long time every day and only have 1 or 2 viewers, that's part of the uphill battle, man. and you gotta try different games, different stream times. The length of your stream comes into play. Mirrodin mentioned it once. If you can get a good viewer average, if you can get us all set up, stream for, like the other night, I fired up Way of the Hunter, streamed for just under 2 hours, and I averaged 6.5 viewers that entire stream, and it was just a short stream. And that boosted me. I thought that was going to get me my 3, but it got me my 2.86 to a 2.99. Disheartening, I know, but it's all part of the grind. We gotta find something for you that works. Games, stream time, how long you stream. Yeah, you just gotta kind of plug and play with it, man. That's been the biggest headache. Is just figuring out the time. Looking at my viewers, I've got I got Screwball hanging out in here. He's a very active streamer. He's helped me out quite a bit, just as much as French. My buddy Curdy OD, I've got, I don't know how many streamers in a day I try and catch streams on, just pop in, say hi, hang out for a little bit, support them. But I've got a pretty good mix right now. It's of quite a few people from a lot of different streams in here. And that was the other biggest thing I noticed that helps, was just the networking of it, getting your name out there, getting to know people, talking, being active. It took a little bit longer of a grind by doing that. I wasn't able to fully start really grinding. I wasn't just popping in and putting my name here and there. These guys, just like Frenchman stream, I could pop into their streams and they know about me, they know what I do. There's a lot that goes into this grind. Like I said, from what I can see, we need to figure out maybe some different games. Battlefield worked good when Mirrodin was able to get that one streamer to raid you. That worked out great, worked out phenomenally. And maybe that's what we need to do, is try and maybe set up, I don't know what your work schedule is. Yeah, the long times are killers. Late at night, I've tried afternoon, I did long stream, I did shorter stream, I just don't get it. And that's the fun of it, dude. It literally didn't click for me, Blackbeard, until, like I said, it was literally just random. I pulled up Insurgency, started playing it, and I was like, what the hell? I'll do a late night stream of Insurgency, see what happens. I think I had Ezio, I think I had you in there. My wife was usually doing her thing for the most part, didn't realize I was streaming. My sister's been coming in clutch the last little bit. But that's literally the game that helped me take off the last week with my viewer average, was Insurgency of all games. And I've talked to other people that do milsims, and I didn't realize how old Insurgency was. And they're like, dude, Insurgency Sandstorm is still a thing? Like, we moved on to Armor Reforger, and I'm like, yeah, apparently it is, because that's prior to today and Way of the Hunter. The Way of the Hunter stream and this stream has just been people coming out and supporting my last final grind, helping me out. But trying to find that right time, I literally clicked with Insurgency Sandstorm, dude. In the last week, my viewer average has skyrocketed because of that game. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it literally just clicked. And I was doing a little bit shorter streams, I was 3 hours at the most. And you also got to pay attention to that grind too. There was quite a few streams in the middle of the night. You can even ask my wife. I'd tell her, okay, I'm going to be done by midnight. And then the stream takes off and I'm up to 10 freaking viewers, and it's like, oh my God, I don't want to stop, but I need sleep, and I had so many nights last week. I was up till 2 in the morning by the time I shut down, Like I said, we just need to sit down and figure out what your, see, and that's the thing, Blackbeard, I haven't been working the last 5 weeks. I've been off on paternity leave. Very rarely Well, like today, this is the earliest stream I've ever gotten off. And it's just trying to get that last .01 average. If I would have started it and I would have just had a shit average, I would have just shut the stream off and walked away. You got to know, we got to figure out when, what game, what time. And like I said, we also got to, you know, I'm sure Mearden, we need to figure something out. You know, we'll have to try and figure out a time for stream. You know, maybe get with Frenchman, have a few late night streams where he can pop in and raid you and we'll watch you for a little bit afterwards. Even if it's, you know, even if we can get 10 people in your stream and you stream for an hour or two after Frenchman gets done, that will help boost your average. Because he did it with, granted, I haven't seen him in a while, but Yoda, you know, Yoda wanted to have him stream, so he just kind of sat there and hung out until Frenchman was done with his getting done. Then he fired up his stream, Frenchman raided him, and we went in and supported Yoda for a little bit too. But if we can cut your times down to, you know, a couple hours at the end of Frenchman's stream, if you can, I'm sure we can get you, you know, a week of high view rate streams that are shorter, that I'm sure we can figure something out for you, dude. So that's the biggest thing, is there's a lot that plays into it. Your stream length, your viewer average, the game you're playing, the time of day you stream. We just literally have to find something that clicks for you, dude. Because that's all you need right now is just your viewer average, right? You said you were at a 1.9 average right now? Oh, are you kidding me? I'm about out of frickin' fuel. Jesus. Oh, and I don't have anything to come to my rescue, son of a bitch. Oops, don't work. I don't have a lot of the bots set up yet, Screwball. Like I explained earlier in the stream, you know, I don't have a capture card yet. I haven't been messing with the bots and the chat commands yet, just because, you know, I didn't want to get too deep into it because I wasn't sure if it was going to take off. I do need to sit down, and one of these days I am going to get a capture card ordered in just so I can be, you know, have my camera up and you guys can see my ugly mug. If that's something you want to do, I know my buddy Kurt, due to military sick and twisted mentality, he's told me he does want to look at my sexy face while I'm streaming. I'm still trying to figure him out. My wife's trying to figure our mentality out too, so, you know, and I need to get, you know, figure out some chat commands and stuff like that. Screwball, but I think oh, see, God, when was that? You rated a hunting stream of mine this last winter. And that was just when I was just dinking around with it, popping up a stream, seeing what happened. And I think you popped in on my Way of the Hunter one night. You and Ted popped in. And God, I gotta say, it's been... Yeah, you've been with me like 5 or 6 months now, Screwball. You've been with me for quite a while. So... Yeah, Blackbeard, that's one thing I would suggest, man. Like I said, if you're not working right now, take advantage of it and try and talk to French and see if he'd do you a solid, you know, and set you up with... I'm sure the chat on Twitch would not have a problem rating you after he gets done with his stream at night. And I'm sure there's a good handful of us that'll hang out. I mean, hell, even if I got to leave your stream up on my phone while I go to sleep, I've done it before, you know. I'm sure French would really be able to do you a solid and, you know, help you out. Same thing. I mean, what are you doing right now, Blackbeard? Because if you're not doing anything right now, I got to get off here in about 10 minutes. Actually, here just probably a few minutes. If you want to fire your stream up, dude, I'll raid you, and I'm sure my wife will sit there and hang out. I'll lurk on my phone, you know. We'll do what we got to do. You know, stream for a couple hours, and as As soon as you can kind of see it starting to die off, back out. Shut your stream down. You don't have to sit there and try and grind, waiting for the moment to, waiting for that moment that somebody just pops in and all of a sudden your stream explodes. So yeah, my sister will hang out. My wife says she'll hang out. Yeah, dude. If you're at home not doing anything right now, pull your stream up and I'll freaking raid you, dude. I'll send my 11 over to you and hang out for a little bit. Yeah, dude, I've been there, man. Raiding helps. I've been raided, quite a few times, not a ton of times, but I've been raided quite a few times. Screwballs raided me, French raided me. My buddy Kurt, he's raided me a couple times now, and it helps. Like I said, yeah, if you can get on, I'll raid you because I got to get ready to get off and take off here in a couple minutes. So I'm basically probably gonna get this one truck out of the sticks and up on the highway and. Right, yeah, I did hear about. I have heard about the host feature, and yeah, that going away kind of hindered a little bit. So. Then of course, one thing I've noticed with all the, like I explained at the beginning of the stream, I am multi-streaming right now between Twitch, Kick, and now I finally fired up my old YouTube account. I was looking into Kick's features to become their version of affiliated. So to be able to start running ads and subscriptions, you literally only have to have 5 hours of streaming. So, yeah, it's kind of entertaining that there's that little bit. Yeah, I had a buddy that went to Kick. He was going to go to Kick full time away from Twitch just because of the revenue of it. And he said the problem with Kick is there's too much bullshit over on Kick. There's too many bots, stuff like that. And like he said, he goes, I couldn't just stream and have fun. He goes, I was constantly having to chase bots off and deal with stupid things. And so Kick can be a great platform too. And I got quite a few buddies, they used to do Kick as well, but they went away from it because at the same time, Kick is trying to, Twitch does too, to a point, Twitch has kind of gone, it's primarily game streaming, yes, but there's also, the just chatting. I'm going to sit here in my bathing suit while, we chat and stuff like that, but if you go over to Kick, man, there is a lot of, there's literally a section about hot tub pool parties just to try and just to get money on an account. It's stupid, and I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I just because I got the ability to stream on it, I'm doing it. So I got one buddy in Australia. He's went to Kick full time permanently, and he's a hell of a dude. I enjoy it. I honestly didn't realize that that he's away from Twitch. Yeah, and like I said, Mirrodin, I know it's on Twitch too, but it's not as fully prominent. You still see more game focus on Twitch. When people I was watching there were bashing Twitch streamers. Yeah, yeah. My one buddy from Australia, he's not too happy with Twitch right now. He wound up getting permanently banned, and now he's just over to Kick full time, and he hates Twitch. So, but I go on Kick just to support him because he's a really good dude. He's one of them. I got to know him through Twitch, late night farm streams. Really good guy. So, so let's take a vote. Assassin's Creed or Battlefield? Who wants to watch What do you want to watch Blackbeard play? So we can kind of help him out. So my wife says she's never been an Assassin's Creed person, so, but she's down for whatever. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure a few of us will hang out and whatever you want to play, dude. So Blackbeard, go ahead and fire your stream up, and then you can kind of figure out what game you want to play. Because I gotta get off and get headed out to go pick up kids. So get your stream fired up so I can raid you. Okay, gotta make sure I spelled your username right because I tried to raid one buddy of mine one night, and apparently I spelled it wrong and sent my raid to someone totally different that wasn't even online. Yeah, I just figured, my wife's in my stream constantly, and I figured I was like, oh hell, why not? I'll just put you as a mod so that way you can kind of help control my stream in case I don't have the computer in front of me. So, and even though I'm going to raid him, I'm going to give him a shout out. Just so. Yeah, dude, Ezio is an MVP. He's been my clipper. I had like 5 clips on my Twitch, and I did. Let me see. I did the Insurgency stream that he clipped a couple of, and then man, he went buck wild on clipping with the when I was doing that 7 Days to Die stream, which I know I still owe it, and I'm probably going to get with my buddy about this weekend. We will probably do some integrative 7 Days to Die stream possibly this weekend. I am going to try like hell to set that up. Hopefully our weekend isn't so busy this weekend. Alright. Well, while he's setting that up and getting his fired up, I gotta change into some pants so I can be civil in public. Oh, what did I do with them? I had them out here. Oh, it's Rice Krispies in the house today. Just stood up from the couch and everything popped into place. Dude, Ezio's been grinding the hell out of that Assassin's Creed. He's been constantly talking about his progress on it. Yeah, he's blowing it up. You getting it pulled up, Michael? To your analytics for February, I have a total of 4.7 viewers, but the streams are mostly between 5 and 7. Having issues connecting. Damn. Is it the Twitch side or is it your PlayStation side? Oh. Maybe try hard rebooting your PlayStation. Do you work in IT, Mirden? Because that's what our IT guys tell us all the time. Try turning it off and back on again. Self-taught repair. Yeah, anytime you call any IT, did you try turning it off and turn it back on again? I know sometimes the gaming consoles can be a little finicky. I love the fact that you can stream right from them, but sometimes they can have their issues. Why? Why do you suggest it? Right. Yeah, it just needs a quick reset. It's always irritating because by the time I got to get IT involved, I've usually done that about 10 different times, and then they ask me, like, no, I never thought of that before. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I got to take off. So hang on just a second. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Blackbeard, if you want to fight it for a little bit, my wife is going to play my game. You guys can enjoy my wife playing SnowRunner. She'll have my headset too. I got to run, go pick up the other two kids, and if you figure it out, I got it set up to where it's ready to raid. So, like I said, do what we can to help you out, dude. So if you get it working while I'm gone, she can go ahead and raid you and send the stream over. If not, you guys can enjoy her awesome off-roading skills. So I'll catch you here in a bit. There you go. It's all you.
Yay, me. And these are all unmodded trucks, so I suck. And I gotta remember all the controls. Oh, you're good. Yeah, I know, I got it. I figured out what I was doing wrong.
Don't worry if you messed it up.
This is why I don't stream.
Jesse. I'll be back.
Alright. See you when you get back. Love you.
See you in a bit.
Yeah. I'll wreck it, or I'll tumble it off a hill, or I'll get it stuck in mud. Something. Oh, watch out for the tree. I'm afraid of big trucks. This is most you'll see me driving a semi. I drive little cars. Even just a regular pickup truck. I could drive a Ranger, but try to put me in a Dodge. No, thank you. Or a big Ford or a semi. I couldn't do it. I'm afraid of big vehicles. Oh, I passed where I was supposed to go. Of course I did. How did I do that? Or is that not? Oh, that's a semi-bed trailer. Where am I supposed to be going? The other direction? Why would he have it pointed this direction? Deliver to a warehouse. Oh, okay. So you must have been going to the warehouse and Drummond Island. Okay. Aw, dang it. Well, we tried, but like I said, I'll try and at least lurk your account when I can, if I'm paying attention to my phone. My husband will probably have to tell me, hey, Blackbeard's on. Because that's what he does when he goes to start his Twitch. Is I normally sit out in the living room and watch it anyways out here with him. But to give him the view, I'll, you know, do it on Twitch. So he'll tell me he's going to start his stream and then I'll get on. Because, you know, I don't pay attention to my phone all that well. Yeah, and same thing for NZO. Like if I notice it on my phone, I'll click on yours if you stream. I don't remember if you do or not. Ooh, I'm about to go off the ledge there. That would have been a fun recovery. I don't know if you could call that a shortcut. That'd be more like the long way around. Because that's down the hill. I need to go up the hill. It's just the scenic route, yeah. Yes. Good thing there's never any cars on these roads. That would be fun. Because I could never keep it on one side of the road. I did it again. Oh, you guys don't want to see my backing skills. Yeah, no. Ain't got no backing skills. Let's see. And bye-bye, stop sign. Yeah, no. Yeah, if there was cars, they wouldn't survive. I'd probably push them off the road. Or I wouldn't survive and end up toppled over. Oh, there goes the tires. And the suspension. When you're the only one on the road, yes. I asked my husband how to shut it off because I was like, you know, we're all done. And he's like, you're doing great, babe. Thanks. Don't want to ruin his average. To get over that 2.99. first map. Already did that one. Do I go all the way or do I go that one? Probably go all the way. This is gonna be tricky. Oh, I can just keep going straight there. Wait. Oh, let's see if I get stuck. Oh, almost got stuck. Keep going. Oh yeah, winches at the top. Really? Oh, it doesn't have that. It has all-wheel drive. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, stuck in the mud. Which tends to happen a lot for me anyways. Though Dusty's taught me some good outside the box thinking that would not happen in real life, like winch attachment points on your trailers. Oh no, come on. I guess you guys all know him as BombTech. Come on. Oh no. Pure anxiety just looking at that mud pit. Oh, come on. You can do it. I'm about out of fuel. So... Is there a fuel station around here? Oh, there is one on my way. Okay, good. It decided it had enough of me. Said, you are done. It is rude. The game was mean. It's alright. It happens, I guess. Uh-oh. Missing mods. But I don't know how to do this actually, so... Oh, it worked. It put me back to where now I have to go through that mud hole of a road again. Lord. Oh, shit. Thank you all for all the positive support. Cause I'm gonna need it. Now I don't remember this road now that I'm really thinking about it. Maybe it's a different road. Or maybe I took the wrong way. Let's see. No? Oh, it's probably because the mud hole's right about there somewhere. Oh. There's the mud hole. Oh, come on. You didn't get stuck the first time I went through here. That tree ain't worth a dang. Oh, it doesn't quite reach. Snow runner is mud and mud runner is snow, yeah. I mean, they have a snowy map, I think, on here, but it's definitely not the one they start you out on. Getting stuck is fun. For some people, yeah. For me, it's just like, how do I, when I have no winch points, it's annoying. Until Dusty showed me the trick, or bombtech, as you guys know him. Till he showed me that you can winch off the trailer. That was pretty cool. Because me, realistically thinking, oh no, more mud. Realistically thinking about it is you wouldn't attach your winch to your trailer. But he's definitely an out-of-the-box thinker. What's stopping you from getting the game? Just don't know how fun it would be, or I guess if you like slow-moving games, like that's like what I think of this game. Rude. There it goes. I'm installing the game right now. Oh. Nice. Of course, I wasn't paying attention to the road. Ran into some thick mud. Straight on, down the middle. You never do that. Just have a huge backlog. Backlog of a bunch of games that you want. I mean, the storage capacity on a lot of gaming, I don't know what you'd call them, consoles, is not the greatest. And games fill it up real quick. I got so many games in my library that I want to play, but I keep playing other games over and over again, so they never get played. Oh, shoot. Hey, how's it going, Rue? It's going. Playing a game for Dad. Hi. Hi, bud. Picked up a mechanicing job. How? Oh. Alright. Jeez. Thank you for your blankie. Appreciate it.
Way cheaper, and my rate's way cheaper.
Alright, you want your headset back? It's been fun talking to your friends.
That's so great.
I mean, I'll continue to play your game for you, but...
Pulled up on my phone. You're doing great.
Yeah. Losing followers by the minute. No, I'm just kidding.
That's staying pretty good.
Yeah, probably because they feel bad for me. Just kidding. Oh, go, go, go. Your bunny? You gave it to me, and it ended somewhere.
I can take the string back if you
Well, yeah, because the kids want me more than they want you. So, heck yeah.
Alright, well, we do sadly have an appointment that we got somebody stopping by the house, so I am probably going to get off stream. Blackbeard, have you been able to, Michael, have you been able to get your thing going, or are you still hanging out, or what you got going on? Alaska, snow and ice, very fun with that one. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, there we go. Rude right as you get here. Sorry, Cody, man. I've been streaming for the last 3 hours, man. I need to get in your stream one of these days and get my UFC fighter belt, man. I keep forgetting. And by the time I do see you're online, I see you're already way deep in the brackets. So one of these days we'll get in there. Yeah, Screwball's in here too. That's actually how I met you, Cody, was through Screwball. Let's see. What else do we got in here? Looks like Fireman Craig's doing some 3D printing. Got some Rocket League being played. Cafe Mart Simulator. Finally had a couple minutes at work. Glad I at least caught the tail end. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, so I streamed a little bit the other night. I was at a 2.86 average, and I thought I was going to make it. And I checked my stats yesterday morning, and it only bumped me up to a 2.99. So I just needed to get that 0.01 to cross off my final checklist for affiliate. So, yeah, it's maybe tomorrow. Well, it'll take a day or two for them to send me the email, but it should be checked off as of today. So, yeah, the grinding's finally done. But yeah, I got to get ready to get off. So, what do you guys want? You guys want to raid somebody? What do you want to do? As far as the people that I follow that are online, I got Fireman Craig's 3D printing stuff and going to do some fishing later. I got some Rocket League, Novatrax. He's only got one viewer right now. Honk just got on with some Fortnite. Cafe Mart Simulator. You guys pick and I'll raid, and then we can go have some fun somewhere else. Yeah, Screw wanted to go live. We could raid him.
You're picking out all the M&Ms.
Watch him try and fight to find that damn pickerel. I believe that's what he was going for fishing the other night. A little too early for me. Never stream while the wife was away. uh,
Depends on how life goes.
so let's see here. Oh, what's everybody in the mood for? You want to find a snow runner stream? Got people playing Fortnite, Rocket League. Take a pick. Do it for the Huckleberry Screw. Now we'll get you some Huckleberry later, Cody.
Mama, take out the nut.
Mm. Let's see. Let's see. I got Rika is on the way to road to 1,000 followers. She's pretty good. She does a lot of simulation stuff like that. We'll go ahead and pop into her raid. We'll raid her just for shits and giggles. She's part of the Kurt EOD crew that has helped me along the way as well. So make sure I spell it right. Got a capital R that one because caps lock plays a factor. Rika Love Sims. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and raid out so the wife and I and the kids can get ready for our appointment. Again, appreciate all you for popping in the stream and helping me grind out that last 0.01 average. So it's been a good time. Go ahead and set this up and we will raid out and I will catch y'all later. Michael, again, we'll set something up for you, dude, whether it be me raiding you or French raiding you. We'll set something up to help bump your average up as well. So we will catch y'all later. I'll wait for the countdown to go. Boom.